Hey guys, Dirtbag Gaming here. Today we're going to be bringing you another Raid Shadow Legends video. Today we have the Spirit Affinity Clan Boss. Now when I first started, this guy was the hardest one to beat. I'm sure it is for a lot of you guys out there. There's not a lot of videos on it, but I'm going to be making a video for you guys today, what worked for me. We're going to go over three key things. The first thing we're going to be going over is why is the green affinity so hard to beat. The second one is going to be what are you guys looking for, what kind of champs you're going to be looking for, and also the strats and setup on how to beat the Green Affinity Clan Boss. Now, for my account, I'm a 2 to 3 keyer when it comes to the Ultra Nightmare Clan Boss, so I'm going to be showing you how to get up to that point. A lot of times you might be using 4, maybe 5 keys to finally get through it, or you might just ignore it altogether, how I was when I first started. So anytime you see the green affinity, I don't want you guys to get discouraged. I want you to be like, yes, I know how to beat this guy now. So obviously you see the first person on my screen is going to be the Dune Priest. There's a couple of videos out there on why she is being used a lot now for the green affinity. But the first thing I say we're going to be going over is why is it so hard. Now first, the Green Affinity Clan Boss, there's 2 buffs that he does that kind of takes you out of your rhythm. Everybody knows the stun. After he stuns, then you're able to kind of put your counterattacks up and go like there. But the first one is the stun. If you can get through the stun, great. Every clan boss uses the stun. So that's the first one. The second one though is the minus 30% speed. That is where it kind of screws everybody up, where it takes everybody out of order. You do almost no damage on the clan boss. So our goal today is to get through those 2 things to make sure that our damage is as high as we want it to be up to. So first thing we're going to be going over is kind of showing you guys what guys to look for on your account. That's going to help you progress through this clan boss. Now, if you have a Dune Priest, you're already 90% there. The Dune Priest's spell or skill that she has is this passive right here. This is what's going to get most of you guys through the clan boss early stages, if not mid stages, through the game until you build your unkillable team, which I don't have built yet. But heals all allies by 7.5% of their HP, and removes 1 random debuff from them at the start of each turn. So, if she's your fastest on your team, which she should be, my Doom Priest right now is a speed of 216. So she is the fastest. Besides my Draco, I had to kind of dole down my Draco because I use him for PvP. But she is going to be the one that you're going to be using as your fastest to strip those buffs every single turn. So it's a random buff, but he only puts down the 1 buff, which is the speed buff that you're trying to get through. It also takes away the stun, which is great. So you don't even need a stun cleanser. You just bring her in and she takes away the speed debuff and the stun for you every single turn. Alright, so when I first went through the clan boss, she was my main person. I lucked out and pulled her. I didn't even know why she was so good, but I started figuring out that, like, alright, if I just have her to kind of heal me up a little bit, take away my stuns, and the minus 30% speed, she's all you need. Some of you guys might have a bad L. He only does the remove stun for me. He can take away the minus 30% speed, but then you kind of just take in a stun. If you have a guy that is immune to stun, which I'm going to be building this guy up right here, Nurag, I'm going to be building him up next to 60, him and Smash Lord. He seems pretty cool. But Nurag actually has a passive that removes the stun. Sorry, he's just immune to stun. So if you have him as your lead and he takes the stun, he's not going to get stunned at all. So if you only have 1 cleanser, you can cleanse the minus 30 speed and then just kind of have him as your base. But the thing is with that is you need to make sure that all the affinities are blue. Because if any of them are green, he's going to go after the green. If any of them are red, he's instantly going to go after the guy for the red for the stun. So that's kind of the strat for here, is if you have all blue affinities, you can put him as your lead and kind of ignore the stun. Alright, so the first guy we're going over, like I said, is the Dune Priest. If you have her, you're already 90% there, so that's great. I'm going to pull up this You Love website. I hope I pronounced that right. But a lot of you guys, if you don't know this yet, it's iyumilove.net, and this is everything you need to know about Raid Shadow Legends. For this, we're going to be going over, just making sure you guys can see it. Okay, cool. So we're going to be going over right here, the buff. We're going to put up block debuff. So this is a buff that some characters have that if you put it on your team, it ignores the minus 30% speed or the stun. So most of you guys might have rares or epics. Some of the guys I'm going to be going over today is Grizzle Jarrow, Madame Cirrus, I still don't have her. If you saw one of my videos, I tried to pull her, couldn't get her. Madame Cirrus, Maneater is your unkillable team. If you have him, you don't need this guide. Mausoleum Mage is a red affinity, so I'm not sure if you want to use him. Sepulchre Sentinel, we're going to be going over her, even though she's a red affinity. Sky Touch Diamond, and a couple rares. So go through this guide. Now, the legendaries, some of you guys might have the legendaries. Blind Seer, I don't have her. Duchess, I don't have her. She's really good for the clan boss. Macam Smasher, I have him. He has the block debuffs. Siphi, don't have. And Warlord, don't have. So anybody who has a group-wide AoE block debuff is what you're going to be looking for to help you out with Green Affinity. Alright, so figure out which one you have on this list, and then let's go back to Raid, and let's go over some of them. Okay, so the first person we're going to be going over is Bad Alcazar. These are his total stats. He's got a 211% speed. His main thing is just taking away the buffs, because he does place a continuous heal, removes all buffs, 2 continuous heals, removes all buffs, and also places 2 5% poisons. But obviously if you have him, you kind of already know what he does. He's very good for the clan boss, very good for endgame. The second person we're going to be going over is Sepulchre Sentinel. She is very good at stopping all of the buffs. The only way that you're going to be using her, though, is if you get her speed all the way up to 251 to 255 speed. Now, I brought her speed down just because I don't use her that much in the clan boss anymore, just because she's more for like my dungeons and all those things. But if you want to use her for the clan boss and she's the person that's going to block your boss for her, make sure that her speed is up. How you get her speed that high is you go to her artifacts and you make sure that you filter subsets, speed, equipped, and just take any gear that you have that has the most speed, as long as it's lifesteal and maybe a broken set, but you want to get her speed up that way. Anything that you're not using on any of your other characters. That's kind of the best way to get it up, and why you want to get it up that way is because of this spell right here. It's a 4-turn cooldown. You need to get that down to a 3-turn cooldown, and how you do that is you overlap the clan boss and you go twice. That's the only way to get her to block both these skills, by blocking the minus 30% speed as well as the block stun. She is a weak affinity, so she's going to be needing a lot of accuracy to land her attack down if you don't have an Alton or another person to take your attack down with. But she's fully kitted out. I actually pulled like 6 of her, but I didn't really need anybody else just because she was already fully booked up. But if you do pull a Sepulchre Sentinel, use her. She's really good. She hits pretty hard. These are masteries. And yeah, so that's the Sepulchre Sentinel. The next person that we're going to be talking about a lot today is Grizzle Jarrow. He is very good for the clan boss. I got him recently, maxed him out to 60 pretty quick, put him in a lifesteal set just for the clan boss. But if you guys notice this, he drops his spear and kind of just looks around. You'll see it come up. It's hilarious on how they kind of put this detail into the game. But he has crit rate, defense. Now, why people use him is because of this spell right here. Places a block debuffs on all allies for 1 turn. Here we go. He like looks around, make sure nobody saw him. Have you guys noticed that before? Because I just noticed it when I was making this video, but he drops in just like, oh, my bad. But this is kind of what he's known for. So he places a block debuffs on all allies for 1 turn and places a 60% increased defense for 2 turns. Now what stinks is this is only a 1, he just did again. This is a 1 turn. So I like to pair him with another person that can either block the debuffs, take away the stun, or we're going to go over Sand/Survivor after that. But you need to extend that to a 2-turn if you're going to block the stun and block the 30% increased defense. You want to place this down before he does the 30% increased speed. So you want to do it on his second attack. His first attack is just going to be an AoE attack. His second attack is the one that decreases the speed. So you want to place it before that that goes off. He hits really freaking hard as well. I noticed that most of his spells are around 80 to 100 K. Just as a single hit on the clan boss. So don't need a lot of accuracy with him because we don't need the heal reduction. And this one has a decreased attack. So if he's your only person that does decreased attack, this only goes down to 4-turn cooldown. so he's not really reliably going to put that decreased attack on the clan boss, so I kind of ignore his accuracy for his build. Masteries and the equipment, these are his total stats. So I want him at the slowest on the team, just to make sure that he does the decrease or block debuffs on the entire team, and then the entire team can go after him. His crit rate's really high, his crit damage is okay, no accuracy, but his defense, he's a defense-based champion, is very, very high. 4.6k on the clan boss. He doesn't take a lot of damage, but he hits really, really freaking hard. So if you get him, congrats. Okay guys, so I brought up a screenshot. This was my last matchup that I ran the Affinity in. This is my team. A lot of you guys might have Skull Crown still as your counterattack. I have Alton as my attack down, Draco obviously because he's Draco, and Bad L and Grizzled for this team to try and take away the minus 30% speed as well as block buffs. So my Grizzle right now is doing about 3.7 million. This is the Ultra Nightmare Clan Boss. My Skull Crusher, he doesn't do a lot. He has 100% crit rate, but he just has that really just to add to his health back up because I want him to live as long as possible. Bad L did 3.2 million, Draco did almost 10 million, and Alton hits pretty hard. He did 5.1 million. So this is my team. A lot of times you might see guys that don't do a lot of damage just because they're mainly focusing on putting the buffs up for your team. So he's kind of taking away a whole attack. Plus with this team, the counterattack falls on and off just because he goes last. So since he's going last, he's losing a counterattack per time. So that's kind of why he's not up to that 5.1 like Alton does. But this is an example of what you might see. Now, like I said, I'm taking you guys from a 4 to 5 key to a 2 to 3 key clan boss team. If you're doing this, you're around a 3 key, which is what I'm at on the Affinity clan boss. So that's kind of the goal for you guys. So there you go. There's an example. So another person. Let's get rid of this web page. Cool. So another person that we might be looking into is, like I said, we're trying to extend the buffs. So this person right here, I was shocked with using her. She has this skill right here. Attacks all enemies, decreases the duration of all enemy buffs, and increases the duration of all ally buffs. Now you can use her to strip away the minus or the plus attack for the clan boss team, as well as extend a buff on your team. So using her, it's a 3-turn cooldown. You bring in Grizzle. Bring in Grizzle Jarrow, and then she's speed tuned to go after my Grizzle. It's the same speed as Grizzle, but she goes after Grizzle, just how it works, to kind of extend the buff. So she extends the buff to make it a 2-turn block debuff. Okay, so that's another thing that you can do is bring a person that can extend your 1-turn debuff. So if you don't have crazy debuffers, putting up block debuff, any of that stuff, you can bring in her or anybody that can extend the debuff. She's a defense-based champion, so she survives a lot. She hits pretty hard. She's at 4.4k defense, almost 100% crit, 132 crit damage. Like I said, not a lot of accuracy. You can bring accuracy on her just to kind of take away the attack buff on the clan boss. And she has a HP banner. I can make this accuracy, but I kind of like how this is right now. So that's my Sand/Slash Survivor, and I love her thing. She's just yelling, which is really easy to find, so I just look for the person that's yelling, and that's her icon. Alright, so let's go right into the clan boss. I'll show you an example of that build, because you might have that build over Bad L. Not a lot of people, if you have Bad L, you're kind of endgame, but if you don't have Bad L, let's use the 2 epics instead. So I'll take out Bad L. We're going to keep the other guys. You use any poisoner. He just does so much damage. He brings in the minus decreased defense and weaken. Have an attack down champion. Have a counter attack. And then obviously Grizzle. So let's do the yelling chick as well. Let's start this up and I'll show you guys the order that you want to be doing it in. You're going to have to take it off auto because you do have to set this up a little bit. So it's off auto. First thing, Draco is really fast on this team. I kind of have to rebalance him. I already took down some of his speed because he's in my arena team. We're going to throw up some poisons, do the defense up, throw on your counterattack. Now notice all my guys are going before the clan boss. You need a 191 speed to do that. We're going to skip this for now. We're going to do that on the second turn. And she needs to hold off on this because we need to extend his buff. So we're just going to attack the clan boss. She does her 2-hitter. So now procs counterattack on everybody. That's why I wanted him to go first, because you automatically start doing the counterattacks. I don't have somebody to take this down. She can boost up her accuracy to kind of reduce that one turn. But like I said, just do whatever works best for you. We're going to decrease the defense. We're going to throw up a hope. Yep, that already procced from the counterattack. Do an attack with there. See, he's 100% crit rate, so he's going to build up his crit rate just so he can heal himself, because you don't have bad L in this team. Now this is the turn. If you see a 3 with nothing left, he's going to be doing his minus 30% decrease speed. So we're going to put up block debuffs, and we're going to extend the 1-turn block debuff. So notice they're all 1 right now. We're going to attack the clan boss and extend it to 2 turns. So I blocked it, counterattacked, and then he's going to try and stun the bad affinity, which is the green guy. Let's see if he stuns the green guy. So we're going to attack, attack, attack. We'll just put it on auto, attack, put it on 1 speed. She's going to attack, and now the stun comes up 3-2. Boom, so stun the bad affinity. He's the only bad affinity in this team. Even though he didn't have the block debuffs, it still went after Skull Crown, which they're going to happen for you as well. So, keep going. Decrease defense. Put on 2 speed again. This should be an auto right now because I set it up right. Cool. So this is kind of how the team plays out from now on. We're just going to run it. We're going to skip to the end, and we're going to show you exactly what we got for this matchup. Okay guys, and we're back. So I'm impressed. We did 25.58 million damage on the clan boss. We got 9.9 from Draco, 5.2 from Alton, 5 million from Sand/Survivor. She might be my favorite now. I completely forgot about one of her skills is anytime that somebody exceeds a certain amount of damage, she puts up a block or a shared damage as well as immune to damage on herself, which I saw proc a couple times, so it kind of helps Skull Crusher take a lot of that damage, and he did survive pretty long. If you guys saw, it was around 30-something turns on the clan boss. Grizzle did 3.2 million, so this team actually did more than my bad Alcazar. I just did the math. You need around 23 million if you want to 3-key this clan boss team. Obviously, you need to do 35 if you want to 2-key it, but most of the guys watching are going to want to 3-key the green affinity clan boss team because that's the hardest one we have. So like I said, this team right here is going to be a 3-key with obviously if you have any attack down, defense down, as well as a poisoner, Sand/Survivor, amazing, Grizzle blocking all the debuffs, and Skull Crusher for the counterattack. So there's an example of a really good clan boss run that I was excited to see. But let me just show you that skill that I was talking about. So Sand/Survivor, the one yelling. There she is. So this skill right here. Totally forgot about this, but places 50% ally protection buff on all allies for 2 turns when any ally's HP drops below 50%. Also places a block damage buff on her so she doesn't take any damage, and it's on a 4-turn cooldown, which is great. This is great for PvP as well, so if you get Sand/Survivor, definitely boost her up to 60 and use her in clan boss as well as PvP. So just wrap up the video. We'll show you the gear. We'll show you their full stats. So that's Sand/Survivor, Grizzle Jarrow, He's got defense, or I'm sorry, he's got crit. To get that crit up, you can put defense on him. Defense and speed. Same slash, add defense, speed. Skull Crusher. Still has a couple greens, so you don't need crazy gear. 4,192. He's 1 speed higher than my other 2 guys. Draco. I'm gonna put on his other chest piece for PvP, so he gets up to around 230 speed. Alton. He doesn't even have 100% Parade, and he still hits really hard. Bad L is in a Stalwart set, so he takes 30% decrease attack on his AoE attacks. He heals so much, and he puts that poison out. Rosin, you can run him. He's just a bad affinity for the team, but he takes away the decreased attack. Now, if you notice that I did 25 million and kept the decrease or the increased attack on the clan boss. I didn't strip it. I'm just curious if I do another run with her by putting a accuracy banner on her, if that changes anything, and if it kind of helps me out with the clan boss where I can take away the attack for at least one more turn. It's going to negate it a little bit just because she has 20 speed on this banner. I'm not sure if I have a banner that has 20 speed and accuracy, but if I do, I'll throw it on there. If not, it's okay. And one more person, let's go over to, I might have showed you the Dune Priest already. We'll just do the Dune Priest stats because she is used for a lot of people beginning game. Don't need accuracy on her. Cool, guys. Well, that's the Spirit Affinity. Hope this video helped. If it did, smash the like button. Definitely subscribe to the channel because we're going to be having a lot more videos like this coming up in the future. The next time I get a clan boss team, we'll throw that in there. And guys, I appreciate you watching the video. Thanks for sticking with us, and enjoy the rest of your day.